Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so last session we did advance our implementation for the file system ignore. And we have a new strategy for our containers. So what do we need? So right now we have hash and equid2, but we probably need functors for the new thing we just added in the last session. So we have less than no case. By the way, this music is a little bit too sleepy. Let's try something else here. So what do we need? Less than no case. Well, that's also very sleepy. Oh boy. Equal to. Equal to. So I'm trying to figure out what we need. We need a less than path. Less than path. Right? Less than no case we have. Less than no case. Less than no case. Is that all we need? Less than no case. Less than. Bool operator. Less than path. Then what? Equal to. I think what we need is let's say less structs less than path. And then we simply add have a const char Then we do include lib path util. How about we add pass util to game common? So we have lib base type. Could also add it to ww common pass util. Lib base type. We add it here. So, and then we say compare path t1, comma t2. There we go. Then we do the same for ASCII string. Const ASCII string then we do return operator t1.str t2.str. There we go. Okay. I think we can also call it like so. Okay, and then less than pass, and then we also need a equal to path. So struct equal to path. And so here structs to compare path with ignores case slash type of slash and trailing slash. So equal to path, then we do same shit. We do equal 0. And then we also need a hash. How do we do the hash? hash. Send pass equal to pass. Hash for path. Struct hash for path. And then we have a so this is tricky. I think we should add the function. We should add a function to pass util. Let me ask ChatGPT if it can help me. Create a function that creates a std hash for same pattern as the comparison function. Must normalize a pass hash. Okay. Is that a good hash function? Does it make sense to incorporate std hash into this function? I wouldn't. Isn't designed for incremental hashing. Often just the identity function adding no value. Okay. Okay, then that sounds good to me. Then let's do that. So we have compare path and hash path. Here we need unsigned in 64. Use size T. Can just do Ccast here. Okay. ULL. Is that legal? ULL? Oof. Looks like it's not. Can we do... Is that legal? I don't know. PCH is path separator. Find end. Okay. Let me double check if this is all correct. Okay, is this correct? Yes. To lower ASCII is correct, hash function is consistent. Okay, cool. Explicit. I think that's fine. Good, then, so it suggested this here. I think that's a good suggestion. Let's put that here. Const. We cannot use ULL because I think VC6 compiler doesn't know this, so we don't. So we have this here, hash, and this. We can confirm this in debugger maybe. To lower ASCII. Okay, great. Okay, good. I think this looks fine. Hash normalize characters, ignore trailing separators, find the end. Yeah. Okay, looks good to me. Let's add a comment here as well. Hash an ASCII path and different kind of different types of slashes. Okay. Okay, great. Then here we can do hash for path. And it also already gave an implicit suggestion for that, which is this, operator, sharp path, hash path. So no accepts. Do we have a keyword for this? No accepts. We go to CPP macros. No accept is here. No accepts. Okay, and then here we do return hash path. We can also just simplify this and just do the same here. Compare path. str. Okay, then we another one. Const char star. Okay, fantastic. And then say functor to compare paths with. This case. Okay. Okay. So I hope that this is correcto. Then let's get to the, what is it? Here. So yeah, so here we do now hash for path. We remove this. And that doesn't work. May not have a template. Equal to path. Okay. So that would compile. Let's see if it compiles or not. Not needed. Common desktop already have this built in if a user wants it with decades of stability work. Okay. Mhm. So, we close this game here. So we have a compile error. Right, that's some work in progress stuff here. So now let's remove this shit again. And this shit. And then let's think about removing all the normalization stuff. So we no longer would need this here. Yeah. Yeah. So we remove this, which means we now have this. We pass here file name. Then we remove this here. Then we do the same here. Remove that, put that there. Add file path. Then here we do file name. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's see if that compiles. Good. Then we go to local file system, and here we remove these and these. Wait, truncate we still need. Truncate we need. Yeah, this one is needed. This one is not. Oops. Then we no longer do this and this. Then we do here file name. Okay. We do the same here. Directory. Okay, then we also remove this. So now here we have a question whether we do I think we still need these functions here, but they need to be renamed. Ignore directory. Okay, so I think this one we need to rename to is file ignored recursive. Or wait. Maybe not. Let's call it is file ignored imp. Territory. Okay, but here we would now need to allocate a string. Yeah. But I guess that's okay. Right. Let's call this recursive. Recursive. And then here we say yeah, I think we won't get around constructing here some string for starters. Okay. And here we have for a name. Here we have directory. Because I need a copy here. I think we can go without. We can do find this. And it's only here that we need to allocate ASCII string copy. What do we say? Next. I realize that this function is not correctly implemented. At least not anymore. So yeah, we need to do pass.trim pass.trim and well, it's also not quite right. I think we need to put that only in the directory thingy. So we need to do ASCII string directory. Let's say next. do here, if win32, okay, then here we need to do this. So directory blah, find true, false. So this one goes down here. And then here we do truncate path next. So is directory ignored? Has ignored directory. Let's say void local file system truncate trailing. By the way, this is also wrong. Truncate trailing slash ASCII string path. It shouldn't be dependent on the system. The system should just work with both. So we do this instead. This. And here we do. Here we do. Good path user. I think that was a Max PTR. Max PTR. Max. So we have say /1 /2. Let's call it end1 and 2. Sure, we can just put it in here. We say here, and maxptr, who is declaring that? Base type. Base type. Okay, why is this complaining? Ah, that's why. There we go. We can also simplify this further and say here. Okay. And this one we do here. Static. Okay. So, truncate trailing /next. There we go. Truncate pass in place. By the way, is this correctly tremendous? Okay, yeah. Okay. Then we have that shit. Then we should be able to put this here. Next. Okay. How about we call this not next, but recurse directory? I think that's a bit better name. Okay. And here, file name. Recurse directory. We do the same shit. Okay. And then here we need to do the same. Okay, it's a lot of copy pasta now. Oops. File name. So, we probably did some mistake somewhere, right? Very likely. Now, there's still one. This one here. So this will also construct an ASCII string now. Yeah. But okay, let's accept that for now. I think yeah. Yeah, I would say for now we can just put it here. File name copy. Can do that. And here directory copy. There we go. Okay. So I think this will work, unless of course we did some error. Let's remove a bit of spacing here maybe. Okay. If I think this still makes sense here. Yeah, I think it's all very logical. The only optimization potential I see here is avoiding this one copy before this one lookup. Right, so this is like always a wasted allocation. But to fix that, we would need to change this hash map. Let's see if it compiles so far. Type diff. So basically, we would need to use this guy. But then So essentially we would need to make a copy of this shit and then do string key hash for path, and here key equal to path, and then and then here we would need to do CSTR, then here path, path compare, path hash, no, hash path, hash path, and then key.cstr, and here hash compare, a.cstr, b cstr smaller 0. Oh no, that's equal to 0. Let's compare path. Yeah. Okay, I think this would work. Okay, and then we do string key. Then I think we still need this, what we had before already. Here's the string, oh boy, const string. Really? I can't type string. My gosh. Storage const return storage. Let's call this get storage. Or maybe just get okay, and then we can do archive file. Let's go to file system. So we need this thing here. So we need a hash map, this thing, and then hash for path, and then equal to path. Okay, then we remove this. Okay, and then here we should now be able to say, let's compile it first. There probably will be compile errors now. Um, um, better put a comment, put a tweak comment here that this stuff was removed and obsoleted. Okay. Good. So this one has compiled. That's fantastic. Then let's go back here. Why though? Why did it compile though? Right, we don't need it for this one here. This one was the wrong one. We need it for someone else. We need it for archive file system, don't we? Archive file. For this one we need it. Well, that was just the one we looked at. Ignore file. Ah, no, it's local file system. This one. Okay. Good, then here get okay, and then we can go to file system, temporary, key type, temporary, this one. Good, and then here we have temporary ignore file hash map, ignore file hash map. There we go. Okay, and then we can move this down here. And then we call this recurse directory again. There we go. And the same here. There we go. Okay, now no allocation. Great. Good. Then now the question we have next is for what containers do we need to use the equal path now? Let's start with archive file. So here we have this hash map thingy. Let me see that. So this one, ignore file. Ignore. So it takes any string and then, yeah, I think this one is good. Apps file name to file info. File name to file info. Okay, I think this one is already good. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's nothing we need to do here because... No, hold on. No, we need to change. Hold on. Hash for path, yep. And equal to path. Okay, there we go. Can we remove this? Okay. Then next we can do next we do local file system. Ignored. Okay, this one is no longer true, this comment here. So there was something else we needed to do, no? Or am I mistaken? Actually, probably not. Wait. No, it's fine. Or is it not? Hold on. Right. Right, so the problem here is that this will not work, this lookup here, if the casing does not match what is actually in the archive, then this fails. So is that also true for OpenFile? OpenFile? What does that do? Big file. Insert to big file. Open file. File name. This one. So if the file name doesn't match exactly the casing, then this fails, yeah. Right. So I think what we need to do is so SD map takes less here, yeah. So here we do RTS less than path. Here as well. And here we take hash for path and equal to path. I wonder if we should rename those thingies because it's a little bit long. How about we say equal to less than equal to yeah, I would say this one we rename to hash path. Hash path. And this one hash path as well. Hash path equal to path. So archive file system. So we have less than path, hash path, equal to path. Okay, so all of these guys now will work here. Do we have more containers? Let's see, type def. Nope. Let's see here, type def. Nope. Let's look here. Type def hash, okay. And here, type def, okay. What about archive system. Streaming archive file, what the hell is that? RAM file. Okay. Good. Let's see if it compiles. Error. Okay. We have a bunch of errors, so that's not good. It's not a member of RTS. Why not? Value type is not a member of equal to path. Ah. Okay. Okay, right now I don't know where this error comes from. No, that's unfortunate. DDS file class, the reduction factor was being set to 0. Was compared, which is different from its meaning and use. Reduction factor was being set to 0. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So the first one is retail generals, fixed generals. Let's see. Oh, cool. Looks blurrier. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is bug critical. This project gen rendering. Let's see. Okay, adjust the reduction factor to keep textures above some minimum dimensions. Okay. And this doesn't exist in 0 hour, is that right? We can check it. Oh yeah, it doesn't exist here. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Would have been implicitly fixed on merge. Okay, cool. So we still have a compiler to look at. Okay, right now I still don't understand what the problem is. So it is complaining, the multimap. Right, a multimap is not a hash map. Okay, now I see the error. This is a binary map. Binary tree. Okay, then that should fix it. No? Maybe not. Oh boy. Oh boy. Get range. STL get range, no matching overloaded function found. Why not? STL utils. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I don't know what the problem now is. Get range. Files, last token instance. What the hell is that bullshit? Does file exist? Oh boy, we are greeted by a massive error. Okay, I don't understand what that is. No matching overloaded function found. Does it literally not find this function or? STL utils .h. It's inside www command, so it should be there. Multimap. Get range. Ah, I see. I see the error. We need a PR and alloc as well. Right. PR key val PR alloc. Why is it called PR? What does that mean? Predicates? What does predicate actually mean? Predicate meaning base established. Cambridge Dictionary. Let's roll with it for now. Could also call it comp for comparison or equal. Or, hold on. Let me see multimap again. Less. Yeah. We keep it at PR. Maybe there's a meaning behind it. So we have all of this bullshit and this. Oh boy. Why don't we do type def type name. Let's call this map, multi-map, and then we do here range multi-map here, type def multi-map. Yeah, it's a bit easier to read this way. Okay, cool. Then that should fix the compile error we just had. Okay, still errors. Okay, it's still not quite there. Why not? Key val pia elok. Ah, I see. I see the mistake. There's another one. And here as well. Okay, there we go. So, do we got it now? My gosh. Okay. It's a lot of copy pasta. Okay, great, that compiles. Then let's next do some debugging and see if things work. So we have a breakpoint somewhere here. Next token. Okay, let's do a test. So we have type auto, ignore directory. Let's see what's happening. Ignore true directory data ini, and I would just add it in here, and there's no lowering, nothing. It just goes straight in there. Okay, fantastic. And then next we have, what do we have? Directory data ini. Ignore directory. Okay, and it jumps in here. Okay, then let's see if we get a hit here, and we do. So what did we found? What did we find here? Dir info is ini, directories here. Okay, files, a bunch of ini files. Oh, they are all lowercase. Ah, they're all lowercase. Well, that's interesting. It's all lowercase. Okay, well, that's interesting. Lowercase, yeah. Okay, I wasn't aware that it's lowering everything. But is that also true for the files in there? Dear info, let me do watch this root directory. Data, second, files, directory, ini, second, files. It only says archive file name, but it doesn't actually link to the file name. So everything is stored with lowercase, but when we open a file, here in big file, we insert it to big file, open file, then here, what does it do? Okay, he does it, this one, okay. What did it do before? Archive file, let me see. Archive file. Ah, so it did it too lower here, okay. I see, so it did work correctly. I see. Is it too lower? So to me, this sounds like we actually don't need the less than here, because all of these are lower and they simply don't care. Yeah, so we can probably remove this. But it's not true. The yeah. Yeah, I would say we need some evidence that we actually need to do it before we do it. To me, right now, it looks like we probably don't need to do this. So let me remove this again. Mm-hmm. 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 So ignore directory, we have a match, and then it goes in here, files. Ignores all the files. And then also for the subfolders. Okay. Okay. Okay, then we have a file coming in. Ignore file. Ignore file. File name. Archive file map. Doesn't find it. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay. Ignore 92. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Then we have another one. Then we have another file. Command set. And there are also 2 hits. And then we have a crash. Is that crash justified now after ignoring all the stuff? Game data ini, yeah. I can't find it because we ignored the but hold on. Why does it pass does file exist then? Okay, I think there's a problem here. Yeah. This doesn't look right. Like it should have failed this check here already. Default game data. Does file exist? Game data ini. Okay. Ini file. So. Well, that's not the one. Okay, there we go. So, does file exist? What does it do? Blah, blah, blah. Now, there's now an interesting case since we have a file exist cache. That won't work so well with ignore. We would need to remove, we would need to remove this file from the cache. Storage. Okay, that's a good point, yeah. But is that the problem? Is file ignored? We ignore data ini. So we won't find this file in there, but we will check the parents recurse directory. Any default. Is file ignored recursive? Where does this call is file ignored recursive? That doesn't seem right. There's no... This function should not exist. Why does it exist? There's no recursive file ignore. This one needs to be removed. Yeah, I don't know why I had that glorious idea, but it needs to check folders. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Maybe that was the issue. So then let's test that again. Blah, 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 blah. Let's put a breakpoint in file system. And then ignore is does file exist here? So, file name, there we go. Let's check it. Hashmap 1, okay. 0 directory, any flags, okay. And now it should find the match. Return true, very good. Okay, true, return false, okay. And then this one should also return. Okay, well, that didn't work. Let's check that again. Does file exist? Results. Get archive directory info. Data any default. Data any default. Well, that didn't work. Let's see why. Directory. I already have a suspicion. This one probably doesn't. I don't actually know. To lower. Well, archive does file exist. It looks like this one is asking for a directory and not for a file, right? Oh. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, we need to investigate this more, but I'm tired now. It has been 2 hours. Let's take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.